Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So sorry for that interruption because of my program that I'm using to record for you. Okay, it's the Bandicam program, by the way, if you want to use it. So I told you we have finished with the revision sheet, and we're going to revise now. We're going to revise the independent and the dependent clauses. We're going to revise the complex sentence and the compound sentence. So you're going to be able tomorrow to get the full mark, God willing. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, what is a clause? We have explained this. We have said that the clause is going to have it's a group of words, of course, that contains a subject and a verb, and we have said that before. Okay, and everyone knows that. Okay, so when we say a subject, okay, it's the doer. It's we are talking about the doer of the verb, or the sentence is about whom. Okay, the sentence is about whom. That's the subject of a sentence. However, the verb, okay, it can be an action verb or a linking verb. 90% of the verbs are action verbs. Okay, you're going to have an action in that verb. However, when we're going to talk about the linking verbs, the most important verb that you have to know is the verb to be. I am, he is, she is, it is, you are, we are, they are. Okay, what I want you to know, to pay attention to now, are the action verbs. Okay, and the only linking verb to pay attention to is the verb to be. Okay, whatever, in the simple past, in the simple present. Okay, everyone knows verb to be. So, an independent clause, it's a complete sentence of a subject and a verb. Pay attention that the dependent clause is a complete sentence, of course, okay? And it has a subject and a verb too, but it's not meaningful, okay? This one is meaningful. That's the only difference between them. So, it's a complete sentence of a subject and a verb and can stand alone. This is the most important thing we are talking about here. Okay? So this is a sentence that can stand by itself. To give what? To give a meaningful sentence. For example, the baby slept. The baby slept. So this is totally meaningful. Okay? Slept, of course, is the simple past of to sleep. Okay? However, the dependent clause, what we call the slave clause, it's an incomplete sentence of a subject and a verb. Someone is going to say, but teacher, the dependent clause, it doesn't have a verb, for example. It doesn't have a subject. No, it does. It has a subject, it has a verb, but it cannot stand alone by itself, given a meaning. Okay, it's not meaningful. So it depends on another clause to complete the meaning of the sentence. For example, here as you can say, or as you can see, while the rain fell. Of course, fell is the simple past of to fall, okay? So while the rain fell, what happened while the rain fell? I can't understand that. And while, by the way, is a subordinating conjunction. You have to revise them all. It usually starts with one of the subordinating clauses because after, when, before, if, as, also, although, as soon as, while, which, that. What I want you to pay attention to are those, only those. Okay? If you're going to find because, after, when, before, if, as, although, as soon as, while, which, that, okay, it means that you have a complex sentence, okay? And in the middle or at the beginning of the sentence, you're going to have a dependent clause. Usually it's followed by a comma when it comes at the beginning of the sentence. We all enjoyed the dinner that dad cooked for us. If you take that dad cooked for us by itself, it's not going to be meaningful. So this is what we call a dependent clause. However, if you take this, we all enjoyed the dinner, it's totally meaningful, so you can understand it, you see? So, let's move forward. Here you have the page. Please, I have to remind you of the page, okay? It's page 65. Go back. We have revised everything on that page, okay? And pay attention, whenever you have a dependent clause and an independent clause, it means that you have a complex sentence. Okay, so we have finished with this. Let's go back now. So that's the dependent and independent clause. Let's go to week 5 now. We're going to have the complex and the compound sentences. Pages 76 and 102, go back to those pages. It's too important. So as we have said, if you remember, we have said that a sentence, it should have a subject and a verb, okay? It's only made of one clause if you are talking about a simple sentence. And if you remember, we have said that the simple sentence, we're going to name it one because it only has one clause with one complete subject and one complete predicate. For example, the clouds, subject, gathered quickly, complete predicate. I, subject or complete subject, went to the park, complete predicate. The train, complete subject, was late, complete predicate. As you can see here, we have a linking verb, which is verb to be in the simple past tense. So the simple sentence, it's an easier sentence. However, the compound sentence is a sentence that has more than one clause. It has 2, 3, 100 million clauses maybe, okay? It has two or more simple sentences joined by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. The three coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, and, but, or, and, but, or. Pay attention, please. Sometimes you're going to have a compound subject. For example, Ali and agree, for example. Okay? So here we have a compound a compound sentence. A compound subject. Okay, it's not a compound sentence until now. Okay, because the end is occurring between two subjects. Okay, connecting them. However, here, for example, I went to the park. I have I subject went to the park. Complete predicate. This is totally a full clause. And I have the comma. Then I have and. And I have another full sentence which is meaningful. I met my friend there. You see, so I have I, subject, went to the park, complete predicate. I, subject, met my friend there, complete predicate. And I have and in the middle, connecting, joining the two sentences. So this is a compound sentence because I have a coordinating conjunction in the middle. Candy rots my teeth. Candy, subject, rots my teeth, complete predicate, but a coordinating conjunction. Then, still I like it. I have a subject and I have a complete predicate. So, two subjects, two complete predicates, and the coordinating conjunction. That's what we call a compound sentence. We will start the class now. We, subject, will start the class now. Complete predicate or coordinating conjunction with a comma here. We, another subject. We will wait for everyone to join. This is a complete predicate. Two complete subjects, two complete predicates, and the coordinating conjunction. That's what we call a compound sentence. Now let's go to the complex sentence that we have just explained. Okay, I'm going to explain it again. It has a dependent clause, which means it has a clause that has a verb and a subject, but it's not meaningful. And it has an independent clause. It means it has a subject and a verb, but it's meaningful. So one is not meaningful, the other one is meaningful, and we're going to link them with what we call a subordinating conjunction. For example, when, after, before, although, since, as soon as, unless, if, and the others that we have seen in the other PowerPoint. Learn them, please. Okay? Revise them and learn them, please. Okay? So if we start with the dependent clause, the incomplete one, we have to put a comma after it. For example, after we finish the lesson here, as you can see, okay, so after here is at the beginning of the sentence, you have to put a comma here. Okay? And this one is dependent. You cannot understand it by itself. However, here the second one, we have a subject and we have a predicate and we can understand it. It's an independent clause. So, dependent clause plus an independent clause plus a subordinating conjunction, that's what we call a complex sentence. A complete clause which has a verb and a subject and it's meaningful, plus another complete clause which has a verb and a subject and both of them are meaningful, and you're going to have a coordinating conjunction in the middle. That's what we call a compound sentence. Okay, now this is grammar. Let's go back. I want to remind you, I have sent all those PowerPoints on Classera. What you have to revise in spelling, and of course I cannot help you with this, you have to revise it by yourselves. Okay? So, pages 77, 77 and 101 words, and then in ed and ing. Make sure that you know how to write them. Otherwise, you're not going to succeed your spelling exam. Okay? And the other one, if you remember, of week 4, the vowel diagrams. Of course, pages 66 and 99, make sure that you know how to write every and each word of them, how to spell every and each word of them. If you remember, we have said that we're going to have some vowel diagrams in English. Okay, it means that we're going to have two vowels next to each other, and usually 99% of the time we're going to hear the sound of the first one. We're not going to hear the sound of the second one. I love you all, of course. This is Amjad Qurtuba International Schools. We are proud to have you in our schools. I'm gonna be proud if you're going to send me a message telling me that you have a problem and teacher, please help me. I'm gonna do it. I'm waiting for you. Thank you so much. This is teacher Malik Zatouri from Amjad Qurtuba International Schools. Goodbye.